Texas reopens theaters, restaurants, and retail, it'll need those workers to operate those businesses. What if they don't come back? Texas says if they don't, they could lose an important social safety net. It comes as the Texas Workforce Commission adheres to strict guidelines about unemployment in general. Either be willing to work or don't take the benefit. The Workforce Commission actually eased the rules for filing for unemployment in the early days of the pandemic. Now, with the virus apparently on the run, the commission has to tighten the rules back up to take pressure off the unemployment insurance system and also to motivate people to return to their jobs as a matter of policy.
And this comes down to a policy question. You know, we have a cost, an unbelievable cost and strain put on the system by extending these unemployment benefits to so many people and for so long. And so there is a benefit to sending people back to work. That relieves the strain on the system. On the other hand, we don't want a pile of dead bodies to be accountable for when this is all said and done.
It's why Governor Abbott insists he will cautiously open businesses in phases and only with the help of medical experts to make sure the state can lower its coronavirus risk while helping its economy grow. The governor believes all Texans working together will get us back on our feet. State leaders say the new rules reflect that. In Waco, Dennis Turner, 25 News.
Dennis, thank you. Now let's take a look at recent unemployment numbers in Central Texas for the week ending April 18th. 1,808 people filed for unemployment in Bell County alone. 1,060 people filed for unemployment in Brazos County that same week, and a little over 1,200 filed for unemployment in McLennan County. Those numbers are just from 1 week here in Central Texas.
Rent payments are coming up again. They're all due by the end of the week. For some families, just like a month ago, there are real questions about how to find that money for next month. Alicia Nieves looks at an urgent plea for help as our country works to rebound.
After weeks of social distancing and stay-at-home orders, some states are starting to reopen as they look to help businesses and employees recover. Tens of millions of Americans have had to file for unemployment since March. As a result, 1 in 4 renters and homeowners was unable to pay their rent or mortgage in April.
We expect May to be, and potentially even slower start than we had in April. But
Doug Bibby is with the National Multifamily Housing Council.
Basically, all the small businesses have shut down. And so we expect there to be more stress in the system. There has to be.
To help with that stress, some municipalities and states have created new rental assistance programs. For example, in Dallas and Los Angeles, those who make below 80% of the median area income could have up to half of their rent or mortgage paid in May. Around 24 other municipalities and states have similar programs, but the NMHC and the National Apartment Association say it's not enough. The House is working on a bill that would set aside $100 billion in assistance for renters and $75 billion for homeowners, including landlords.
The perception is that this is a very high margin, very profitable business. And if you really truly look at the numbers, profit margin that you have from $1 of rent is about 9 cents.
Bob Penniger with the NAA believes it is critical that a federal housing assistance package is holistic in including renters, homeowners, and landlords. Otherwise, we could see a potentially negative domino effect in the housing market.
It is very critical that Congress take action to address this. And if they don't help us, and helping us is really through helping the residents to be able to pay the rent and be able to bridge this gap, you're going to end up with a housing stock that is going to be of lower quality on the other side. And you could have a wave of foreclosures that could affect residential housing.
I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
It's still important to see your doctor if you get sick, and Baylor Scott and White Family Medicine remains open for those in need. While clinics are embracing telemedicine these days, steps are being taken to ensure the safety of patients who physically must come to a clinic. Some may be timid because of COVID-19, but it's important to see the doc if you're really becoming sick.
People are going to have all their reasons for coming to visit the doctor, and we just want people to not be scared, because we don't want them to be getting sicker at home if they need to be seen.
Patients with chronic medical conditions like hypertension and type 2 diabetes should physically consider seeing their doctors in person. As the state works to reopen, some folks are planning a trip to the beach. The Port Aransas ban on short-term rentals and beach recreation ended at midnight, so today the beaches were filling up quickly. Hotels and restaurants are already taking reservations for this weekend and beyond after the governor's decision to let his stay-at-home order expires Thursday night. That popular tourist destination there is ready to rebound.
Now let's recap what you need to know. The Texas Workforce Commission is tightening rules on unemployment, so as more businesses reopen, employees will need to return to work or jeopardize all income. Plus, some states, including Texas, are offering rental assistance programs as we approach the beginning of the month. And Baylor Scott & White clinics are still open, but they are taking precautions to ensure all patients are treated. To learn more about the rebound, go to KXXV/rebound. We've posted a variety of resources to help Central Texans get back on their feet.
As parts of the country, including us here in Texas, move toward reopening, we still have to be cautious about this outbreak. One way of doing that is through more and more testing. Sydney Eisenberg joins us live from the COVID-19 Tracker Desk. Sydney?
Todd, we've reached another milestone in the fight against COVID-19. Now, across the U.S., there are now 1 million cases of COVID-19. Now the White House is outlining a plan to increase testing across the nation. Now, right now, 5.4 million tests have been performed so far. Under the new testing plan, the federal government would send each state enough tests to screen at least 2% of its population per month. But some are calling that percentage too low. Experts from Harvard University have estimated up to 20 million tests would need to be performed daily in order to safely open the country. Now, Governor Abbott's plan calls for testing to be increased to 30,000 per day. Right now, Texas is performing 15 to 20,000 tests daily and has performed a total of 300,000 tests. The state is currently focused on testing hospitalized patients, those in long-term facilities, healthcare workers, and first responders, as well as Texans over 65. Now, the state's reopening plan is set to begin this Friday. There are over 26,000 COVID-19 cases in Texas. 690 Texans have died. More than 11,000 patients have recovered, including 250 right here in Central Texas. There are 605 cases in Central Texas. McLennan County remains at 87 cases. Bell County officials are reporting 165, while state officials, which include Fort Hood in their count, report 173 cases for the area. Brazos County has 188 cases. In the surrounding counties, Coryell remains at 105 cases, Milam has 14, and Falls has 3. Live from the Coronavirus Tracker Desk, Sydney Eisenberg, 25 News.
Sydney, thank you. KXXV is proud to support the United Way COVID-19 Community Response and Recovery Fund. Today, we presented a $2,000 check to United Way of Central Texas from the Scripps Howard Foundation and us here at 25 News. The United Way is a lifeline for families struggling right now to make ends meet. 25 News is also donating $2 grand to the United Way of the Brazos Valley.
First responders from all over Bell County gathered today to transport the body of a fallen deputy, John Roden, from a mortuary in Temple to the Dossman Funeral Home in Belton. Deputy Roden died after being hit by an 18-wheeler while laying spike strips to stop a suspect in a stolen vehicle pursuit on I-35 Sunday morning. There will be a public visitation for Deputy Roden Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Dossman Funeral Home in Belton. Friday at 2 p.m. there will be a private service followed by a police escort to Lampasas City Cemetery in Lampasas, Texas, where he will receive full police honors.
Switching gears now, today Ohio's mail-in primary should serve as a test for the rest of the nation. The state canceled its voting last month just hours before polls were supposed to open. Since then, state officials have navigated through election laws to land on an almost completely vote-by-mail primary. Voters are responsible for getting at least 3 forms to the post office during this all: an application, a blank ballot, and of course, a completed ballot. Time now to get a check on your First Alert 25 forecast.
Matt Hines is standing by. Matt, you're tracking possible severe weather, so what's the update on that?
It does appear to arrive, Naya, later on tonight here across Central Texas. So if you're planning anything for this evening, maybe going out, getting some dinner, bringing it home, you're going to be okay, as things are going to stay quiet from now probably through at least 10 o'clock. So this is probably what the radar is going to continue to look like. So enjoy your evening. It's thereafter that we have to start watching, and we're already seeing our thunderstorms develop to the north. Here from Tulsa back to Oklahoma City, that will continue to develop a line of thunderstorms and push down to the south. And as that continues to work its way southbound, it will become more intense, cross the Red River shortly after about 9-10 o'clock, and then continue into our area during the wee hours of the morning. So here's the latest in our short-term future track and what we're tracking here for you. Looks like as we put this into motion for you, as we head toward about 10 to midnight, thunderstorms will be moving through the Dallas-Fort Worth area into our northern counties, then continue into our area between about midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning for Waco, Temple, Killeen, and then continue down to the south from there. Of course, we'll have more details on what we're expecting coming up.
Matt, thank you. It's wedding season, but the wedding bells aren't necessarily ringing.
I've been planning this since I was 12. I mean, I'd even come up with every scenario of things that could have gone wrong.
How brides-to-be are dealing with the unexpected, the possibility of having to cancel.
Plus, families finally getting one step closer to closure, what the NTSB is now saying about a deadly duck boat crash.
May is one of the most popular months for weddings in Texas, but brides-to-be are frustrated there isn't a clear timeline for when venues can fully operate. As 25 News anchor Lindsay Littman tells us, it's also leaving them in limbo.
Rosie Robinson dreamed of her late May wedding.
This is supposed to be the happiest time of your life.
But the coronavirus pandemic quickly turned that dream into a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm really stressed out just because I've been planning this since I was 12. I mean, I'd even come up with every scenario of things that could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
And this was not on the agenda of what could have gone wrong.
Monday, Governor Abbott's announcement to reopen retail stores, restaurants, and other venues brought a glimmer of hope, but also confusion.
We wanted to make sure that we were able to open up as quickly as possible, but as safely as possible.
She's writing the governor for more clarity. Based on the governor's executive order, churches and reception venues can technically host, but guests should wear face coverings, remain 6 feet apart. Restaurants are also only allowed 6 people per table, and for now, only at 25% capacity.
I would ideally want to do at least 50 people. I know it's a smaller wedding, but just having the big day and having the experience is what I really want.
A full refund isn't an option either.
Almost none of my vendors are willing to refund any of the money. They've only told us that they're going to, they can reschedule, but they can't refund anything, and we'll lose everything.
Rosie says all brides-to-be are in the same boat, but they're weathering this storm together. Lindsay Littman, 25 News.
Time now to get a check on your First Alert 25 forecast.
That's right, Matt. It's nice out there, but not for long.
Yeah, those thunderstorms will likely roll in later tonight, and we will likely be tracking those through the wee hours of the morning across central Texas. So have your Storm Shield app ready to go. Search KXXV in your app store, download that. It's free of charge for you. And make sure the alerts are on for tonight, as we will have probably an active weather map. But right now, things are pretty quiet. All the thunderstorms have been over here into southeast Texas and Louisiana, and they're just now starting to pop up here across Oklahoma, from Oklahoma City to Tulsa. This will be the start of our line of thunderstorms, which will continue to work its way down toward the southeast and into our area later on tonight, the way it appears right now. Extraco Eagle Eye in Killeen showing that we do have a mostly clear sky out there, a few patchy low clouds from time to time, and temperature sitting at 89 degrees, feeling like 93 though when you factor in that humidity of 52%. So it is definitely muggy again, and winds are out of the south at 14 miles per hour, and that wind will stay up tonight out of the south, feeding these showers and thunderstorms. So here's our future track as we progress from now through about midnight. I think things are going to be pretty quiet in our area, but sometimes the models are a little too slow bringing these in. So I'm going to say between 10 p.m. and midnight, this will likely start entering our northern counties here from Meridian, Hillsborough to Corsicana. Then as we head after midnight through about 2 o'clock in the morning, that will move into Waco, Temple, and Killeen. And look how fast it is moving. It is going to be a quick line of thunderstorms, and that can issue momentum, and that momentum will carry the wind into the area. That's why we think this is mainly going to be a wind event. And I do think the most intense part of this is going to be from I-35 to the east, with a little more isolated severe activity as you head farther back to the west. Still thunderstorms though, and still get the potential for some of those strong winds. But by 7 o'clock Wednesday morning, I think we're A-okay here across the region. And then tomorrow afternoon, it'll be a distant memory as the sunshine returns and we'll have a nice north wind, and things will be looking pretty good for the rest of the week. But for tonight, we have to get through this. Most of the area under an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms. Notice we have a slight risk here across our southwest